I like a good movie as much as the next person. I've also been a developer for much of my professional life, which means that I understand what code is supposed to look like, especially when it's in a movie. I have a need that when I'm watching something on TV or at the cinema, then it either has to be so fantastical that I can suspend all common sense and beliefs and just go with it, or it has to be so realistic that if they do something unrealistic, it's kind of jarring and it stops my brain. Once this sort of jarring happens, I kind of pop out of the state of disbelief that I was in, and it kind of ruins the whole thing for me. Usually the trigger is when the actors, they put code on the screen to do something, and what they're trying to achieve and what they're using don't add up. One of the funniest lines in the movie Jurassic Park is when Lex Murphy comes over to a computer and says this.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
File System Navigator, or Fusion as it was also known, was actually a legitimate real file manager that sat on top of a Unix backend that was used in the movie. And a lot of people, they didn't like it because they said it was unrealistic, but they were totally unaware when they said this that it was actually a real legitimate file manager that actually existed in real life. Whilst this particular example is real, Hollywood and media in general has a habit of using real software or code for things that are actually not used for the purpose which they're using it in the movie. This often leads to programmers taking the mickey out of what they're doing, and one of the places that you'll often see this is on Reddit, where they have a subreddit called It's a Unix System. A frequent go-to in the media is the Unix process called HTOP. And if you know of the Windows File Manager or you use Mac OS's Activity Monitor, then you will be very well aware that it lists programs and allows you to see how much CPU or RAM they're using and be able to kill the process if it's getting into trouble and causing issues. So that's what it does on Linux and flavours of Unix like that. However, in the media it's used to hack Bitcoin. It's also used in music videos. And get this, that last one is actually a package you can download called Hollywood. So it's kind of real life imitating art, imitating real life. Another classic go-to is the HTML language, which is normally used to put text on a web page. Of course, in the TV program, you can have null pointers in your HTML. You can even make a printer catch on fire according to CSI Cyber. Now that last one is actually a valid error message, because in old versions of Unix there was a joke error message that said that LP0 had caught fire. So yeah, that was actually another one of those ones where something real they're joking about, but I don't know if they knew that that was real or not. So what's going on here? A possible clue shows up in Apple's Invasion series on the TV Plus service, where every time that they are dialing into computers and looking at code and trying to talk to the space station and trying to do wave transformations and stuff, the code actually looks like what you'd expect it to look like, or at least it's believable code. And this kind of got me thinking. You wouldn't have Hollywood have a dialogue that mentions a horse walking onto the scene and, instead of a horse coming on, a totally different animal comes on. It just wouldn't fly. Could it be that because Apple deals with like 1 million developers, that they actually know what code is supposed to look like, and they know that they can't push something like HTOP past these millions of people? Like, they really just simply cannot substitute something for something which it's not. People are going to spot it and go, that's not realistic. So it could be that Hollywood should spend a little time just trying to learn, what does code look like? Go spend some money on Fiverr, hire somebody to write some code for a scene that is somewhat believable, because there is literally millions of people out there who are going to see this and go, well, that's not right. I did try to find out why Invasion was different. I sent a message to Apple, but by the time of recording this, I haven't heard anything back from them. If they ever do respond, I will do a follow-up video on this, but for now, I have no idea what it is that was going on over at Apple that influenced that decision to actually put something up that actually looked believable. But what I do know is that they didn't use HTOP, and I'm almost can guarantee that that is not an accident. So there you go. I'm going to wrap it up there. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit subscribe.